If you've ever finished your hand stitching, gone to grab your lighter and thought, I wonder if there's a better way? Today we're going to test every single method I can think of finishing leather thread ends, from lighters to candles to glues and more, and rate them all out of 5. And yes, I may set my workbench on fire, all in pursuit of finding the ultimate method for finishing your thread ends. We're also going to look at the effective thread length, and I'm going to share everything I've learnt. I've got 4 categories for you today: traditional heat, pyromaniac, experimental, and not burning at all. I've got 19 methods for you, each weirder than the last. We're going to test each of them out using the same scrap of leather, so we'll be able to easily compare across them. For the thread, we're going to be using a thick waxed polyester thread. Each scrap is going to have the same length of thread. For this category, we all have standard methods for finishing thread end that you'll find on your workbench or around your home. But which will produce the cleanest melt and precise accuracy? We are kicking it off with the lighter, the go-to thread burning tool for 90% of leather crafters. And it does a pretty good job. The challenge I found with the lighter is you have to leave a little bit too much thread to make sure you don't burn the leather, which means the final melt isn't a perfect finish, but pretty good. Give us 4 out of 5. Next, we're up with the matches, and you can see the first problem straight away. They're a nightmare to light sometimes, unless you have good quality ones. But once it's lit, it works pretty well. But the main problem is you then have a lit flame, and you're trying to juggle that with melting and pushing down the thread at the same time. 3 out of 5, not bad. There's also something about the smell of burning matches. I love it. Now maybe a candle is the solution to all of the problems with the matches. You can keep it lit, you can move it away safely when you need to push down the end of the thread. Turns out this is pretty difficult with larger candles, so onto the tea light, and it works pretty well. But to be able to get it close enough to melt that thread, you end up starting to burn the leather. Not great, that's a 1 star from me. You keep the candle nearby for ambience, but don't use it to melt your thread ends. Now onto the Thread Zapper. There's no actual flame that's burning here. We're heating up a thin element, and that alone is melting the thread. It works nicely, it's neat, and it's pretty precise. That's the best method yet. 5 stars. That is going to be tough to beat, but we're only just getting started. So one question I had when planning the video is, what exactly is thread finishing? Why do we do it? So there are lots of different methods today, but you'll see most of them are around melting the thread. So for melting, this is only applicable to waxed polyester threads rather than linen threads. For linen threads, you typically use non-melting techniques such as hammering down, gluing, etc. So when we melt the thread, we're sealing the end so it doesn't fray or unravel. As you melt and squish down the end of the thread, you'll see that it spreads out wider than the diameter of the original thread, and also bonds to the leather and thread around it. This helps it stay in place and create a nice long-lasting seal for decades to come. For this category, we're stepping it up a notch and putting on our safety gear. Do not try this at home. Will we find any success in this group of methods, or will we just set our workbench on fire? Soldering Iron is essentially the bigger brother of the Thread Zapper. It provides a super concentrated heat in one location, but the main problem I found was leftover solder on the end of the iron. I didn't want to risk burning my finger with this, so I used the lighter. A sparkle to your leathercraft, but not the best method. 2 out of 5. Keep it in the workshop. My little craft light has a halogen bulb that gets super hot. So what if I use that to melt the thread? Well, it didn't work very well. It was getting really warm, but it just ended up pushing around the thread and messing it up. That's a 0 out of 5 for me. Drop a comment down below if you can think of a method that I've just not tried here. Now perhaps the Butane Torch will be perfect for crafting the ends of threads, as well as creating creme brulees. And this one worked pretty well at the start, but melting the end to make it sit flush with the other threads was a mistake. This completely obliterated our leather piece. It's got to be a 0 stars, although quite fun to use as a method. Maybe I'll try this every so often, just to spice up their leathercraft. Now this one I was genuinely worried about. Started off with some gin, thinking naturally that it would burn here because it burns when you shot it down, but it turns out gin only burns when you heat it up. Luckily I had some isopropyl to hand, which got going straight away. This singed the leather, not as bad as the Butane Torch, but not great. 1 star. When you add in the fact that you might set your workbench on fire, this is definitely a method to stay away from. If you've got any value out of this video, please like it and subscribe for a new video every other week. Thanks so much, your support really helps me to continue making these videos. So polyester threads are made by melting raw polyester materials and then extruding them into fibers. Now these fibers are spun or braided into a thicker thread that is much more durable. This is then coated with wax. It makes it stiffer, stronger, and more durable. So when you heat this thread up, the wax softens and the polyester melts just enough to fuse together. Now typically most crafters will use a lighter for this, but what you don't want to do is to let the polyester thread burn. You're just trying to melt it. If it catches on fire and starts to burn, it will spit molten hot polyester all over the place. This will damage your leather and could potentially burn you as well. So to avoid this, you can cut the thread a little bit shorter, but be careful, you don't want it too short because otherwise you could then burn the leather whilst you're trying to melt the thread. Now, if you're using a lighter, make sure you check out the video in the description or up on the video now. In that video, I share everything I wish I knew about melting thread lengths before I started leathercraft. This category, we have weird and wacky. They may work fantastically, or they may just fall flat on their face. We won't know unless we try. Now here I took some inspiration from the Thread Zapper. Thought that if I could take away from direct heat, that this would work nicely. So heating up the knife with a lighter to get it super hot and then applying some nice pressure. Not enough heat and too much soot. That's another 1 star from me. It worked in theory, but in practice it was terrible. Now the hairdryer on the high setting gets super hot. Hot enough to melt the candle wax. Sure should melt the wax thread, right? This did not work at all. It just ended up blowing the piece of thread around. 0 stars. So now I have a 9-volt battery and some fine steel wool. I was really excited by the potential of this. It's like a larger, more out of control Thread Zapper, but it was actually super difficult to apply the battery and get the thread in the right position to be able to get it close enough to melt any of the thread. In the end, this didn't work at all. 0 stars. But an amazing science project nonetheless. I was really excited by the potential of this, to add it to an outdoor traveling toolkit and finish off your leather thread. But sadly, I think you need some really consistent midday sun for this to work at all. And in winter in the UK, that's unlikely. So I'm going to give this 1 star for potential. Try this out in the summer and you may have better luck. Now I read about this online and I was fascinated. Turns out it's to do with tiny amounts of moisture that are trapped within the sodium chloride crystals. So dipping the thread into the salt water and it starts to spit and crackle. Pressure buildup in the moisture is actually causing those particles to expand and crack. I mean, really inconsistent and terrible method because it just gets salt water all over your leather, but it's amazing. Not super practical, but pretty amazing. I only give it 3 stars for the mad scientist in me. Now we all know that friction can build up a huge amount of concentrated heat, but what if we could use that to melt the thread? Even with several minutes of rubbing, I couldn't build up enough heat to melt this thread. It just messed about the fibers. It's going to be another 0 stars from me. So the friction burn failed miserably. Why is that? Well, it turns out it's all to do with material science. Polyester burns at approximately 250 degrees Celsius. But with friction, we can't get anywhere near that. We were at max around 45-50 degrees Celsius. But what temperature is a lighter? It turns out they're crazy hot, approximately 1200 degrees Celsius. Now that will melt the polyester, no problem. So for this category, we're going to be testing every single way of finishing the thread without actually melting it. This is easily got to be the safest category. But could it also be the cleanest? Let's find out. Now this is an old saddle stitching technique, particularly used with linen threads. Because you have that backstitch, supposedly the thread is already pretty secure, but I'm a bit worried about the longevity of it. Although it does look quite good and there's no melted thread or damaged leather. I'm going to give it a 3 stars. So the idea here is to cut the thread super short and then melt a little glob of beeswax on top of it. That will keep it secure and seal it in. In practice, this is much more difficult than you think. It was super difficult to control the amount of beeswax onto it. I was hopeful for this one, but it didn't work too great. A bit messy. I think I'm going to have to give that a 2 stars. This is like a more permanent and less natural version of the beeswax, using some superglue. You all know how tough and durable superglue is. Well, the main problem is that these little things of superglue dry out so quickly. With a fresh one opened, we could get down to business. From its discovery in the 1940s to today, I wonder if anyone else has ever tried to use this to seal the end of leather threads. Now the problem is in the application. It was super difficult to apply the small amount that I needed. A way bigger amount came out and just completely damaged the leather around it. Not great for me. I'm going to give it a 1 star. Now I might get in trouble from my wife for this, but this polish dries super strong and super quickly under a UV light. So I kind of use that to secure the thread ends. And surprisingly, it worked pretty well. A little bit of excess polish onto the leather, but this thread's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's a 3 stars from me. What if instead of cutting the thread short and melting it, we just tie a knot between the 2 ends of the threads? We know how secure knots are. And yeah, this worked pretty good. I managed to tie a nice knot and then cut it short. Ooh, and on the front, this looked the best out of any of the methods. But on the back, a bit of a lumpy mess. Yeah, it's got to be a 2 out of 5 for me. Here's what we learned. So the lighter is the go-to method for most people. It's fast, it's cheap, but it can also burn the leather if you're not careful. There are so many methods that I would never recommend anyone trying. The Superglue was super messy, the Butane Torch was just ridiculous, and the hairdryer doesn't work at all. For me, the winner hands down has got to be the Thread Zapper. It's got precision and accuracy, and it looks super professional. But don't go anywhere. Controlling the length of thread with the Thread Zapper is so critical. I'm going to share everything I've learned about that now. So you've watched the video, you've bought the Thread Zapper, and now you're wondering about thread length. Now the biggest drawback of the lighter that we talked about earlier is that you have the risk of burning that leather. Well, as the Thread Zapper doesn't have a direct frame like a lighter, you don't need to worry about getting further away from the leather. So you can get closer to the leather surface, so you can produce a cleaner thread melt. So what I like to do is finish up my saddle stitch, and then with some nice sharp thread snippers, I'll cut that thread pretty short, shorter than you would if you were using a lighter. And here it's really just a few millimeters. This gives me a short, stubby length of thread that when I melt will push down nicely into that hole. So I take my Thread Zapper and I'll press the button to turn it on, and it will start to heat up. Now you know it's ready when you start to see wisps of smoke coming off it, and then you know that it's up to temperature. But be careful here, do not touch the surrounding leather. So take your time and be precise. So we melt the thread, and then you want to push it down with your finger. Now don't worry, it won't be hot here because you're using such a small intense amount of heat that will dissipate really quickly. It should just be warm to the touch. And then when you look at it, it shouldn't be obvious straight away which bit of thread you've been melting. And then you know it's looking really professional. If you've enjoyed this video, you might like one of my others. Check out this video up on screen now. I'll meet you there.